All right, we win the die roll. Excellent.
Match 2. And our hand is...
Yeah. This is really borderline, I feel. Yeah. So what's good about this hand? It has colored mana, it has 2 payoff cards. The problem is twofold. It has no explosiveness and it has no creature outside of Master. Um,
I
I'm
disagree with
actually
that statement because you have a Blink Moth and an Ink Moth Nexus. You've got
yeah,
3
yeah.
things that are threats and require removal, counting assuming cranial plating gets down.
Mhm.
From where I stand, I would look at this hand and not think about mulliganing for half a second. It's
Interesting.
perfectly
Okay,
functional.
cool. Okay.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, it lacks explosiveness, but you cannot mulligan to explosiveness. That's not a valid strategy in Affinity, I don't think. Your chances of losing go down so much once you start throwing out cards. And if you mulligan, you might just have a hand that straight up doesn't function, which is quite often. Especially since so many of your things require critical mass to turn on.
true.
Let's see. Lead on Citadel. You're leading on Citadel because this way, if you draw another Citadel, you can cast the Master on turn 2. And if you do... yeah. Basically,
Yeah,
that's why.
that's one.
It's...
Yep.
You do not have the out to cast the Master on turn 2 if you do not lead on Citadel. Well, except for... Oh, hey, it's Merfolk.
All right, so we go
Wonderful.
from worst matchup to the best matchup. Excellent.
Yeah, well, this is kind of swingy. All right.
All right. Well, Willing Jar does nothing against them,
Well,
but
it does let us cast Master next turn.
that's true.
Or this turn.
It does
Sorry,
that on.
this turn.
Yeah, that's true. Um,
So, considering you're casting a Master, I think you just play Blink Moth, right? You're probably
yeah,
not winning through infect damage. I mean, you could. You could.
you could. I mean, next. Well, what happens next turn? Next time we cast Cranial Plating, presumably.
You cast
And
Cranial Plating, equip, and attack.
yeah. So could we? Yeah, we can't one shot him with. Yeah, let's just play Blink Mouth. Agree.
I mean, the other line was to play Cranial Plating and not Master, and then next turn equip attack with Ink Moth, and then equip attack with Ink Moth again.
Mm.
That was a potential line you could take, which wouldn't be awful, but I feel like it loses to Dismember way too hard.
Yep. I'm also this will come up. I'm guessing that this will come up multiple times. Is when playing Affinity, I am generally in favor in the first 3 turns of trying to spend all your mana,
Yes.
not missing.
Yeah.
That's just it's just a heuristic, which does not always apply, but it applies a very large amount of the time. Like here. Here I think it would be a mistake to cast the second plating instead of just equipping it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, he's just going to concede, given that he missed his second land drop. But,
Yeah,
you know,
missing land drops when you're playing against an Affinity player that's playing a turn 2 Master into plating.
yeah. So I think I want to add Whip Flare. I want to add 1 grid and 1 Thoughtseize, probably. That's...
That seems reasonable.
And
You're
then
going to take out a
cut
Welding Jar
or cut.
and Etch Champions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean it's the reason we should probably explain why we take out Edge Champions, which is because even though they are a blue monocolored mid-range deck, they have spreading seas. So your Edge Champion is just not gonna block, and the way you beat him is in the air. So
Yeah. To explain more for people unfamiliar with Merfolk, they cast Spreading Seas, they turn one of your lands into an island, and then a lot of their lords give their other Merfolk island walk, so you literally are not allowed to block with anything.
Yep.
Well, this hand's awesome.
Yeah. And just stuff they bring in, I guess. They have ceremonious rejection for sure. Some number, two or three probably, and then possibly Hercules recall.
That's not
Which
necessarily true. They occasionally just cut all of their affinity hate because the matchup is so bad that they just can't win with it. um,
well,
so
they definitely have rejections because of Eldrazi as well.
that's
There, I
fair.
think,
And
yeah,
Tron.
yeah,
So Citadel, Opal Drum, Scourge, and then you decide between the Pest and the Thoughtseize.
yeah. I think I'm inclined to want to cast Thoughtseize.
Yeah, I think let's see. So if you Thoughtseize, so next turn you're gonna have 4 mana, and you're going to have 4 mana of things to do. So either way, you're not attacking with a Signal Pest
Yep,
because it's going to get tapped to the Springleaf Drum for mana.
yep.
So in considering that, you'd rather run out the Thoughtseize now to make sure that they can't play anything particularly nasty on turn 2. Or
Yeah.
oh, actually, wait a second.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot about Curse Catcher, but apparently so did he.
Me too.
Um,
Okay. So I think I'm inclined to just take Silvergill here.
because you could draw him into stuff that matters.
Well, I
That's
guess I mean
fair.
he's gonna be able to draw a card anyway. He can't cast either of these two spells. He's
Yeah,
definitely going to be able to cast Silvergill and Spreading Seas, but the Silvergill and the damages it represents is more valuable to him than the
yeah,
downside of Darksteel Citadel being an island, which just doesn't matter at all.
yeah. I
So
think I think that's a fair point. If you were trying to reduce his overall clock, there could be an argument to be made for taking like Lord of Atlantis.
yeah.
But I think the reason you don't take it here is that your hand is so fast that he needs to draw something good to beat you, and so limiting the amount of times he can draw is probably the most important thing you can do.
So let's take
Yeah, take
Silvergill.
Silvergill.
Um, yeah, and yeah, we obviously should have thought about the fact that
That he
Curse
had a curse
Catcher
catcher. Yeah.
counter Thoughtseize. Though I'm not even 100% sure that it actually changes or well the yeah I think
Well,
that no
cause
we would
what?
no we would definitely cast a Signal Pest then. Yeah.
Yeah, we could have cast Signal Pest, and then on the next turn, our first mana is a Thoughtseize, and then we cast a Cranial Plating after that. But then
Yep.
again, he
Exactly.
didn't sacrifice the Silvergill, and he didn't sacrifice the Curse Catcher, and so we did get the Silvergill, which he probably otherwise would have played, potentially.
All right. Yeah.
And we know what his hand is.
Yeah. So the second island unlocks the Lord and allows him
So you play
to
Citadel here,
raise.
right?
Yes, because there's no reason to expose Inkmoth to Spreading Seas.
Oh, that's
Um,
not even the logic I was using. I was just thinking it was another artifact to make your Vault Scourge +1 damage. Like,
yeah. Well, either way. um, the thing is too like he's not going to be able to amass as much damage as he needs to raise us. He has to find a removal spell for Volt Scourge or something along those lines. Otherwise, he just will not be able to win.
yeah.
So this is well, it's not no, it's not two turn. It depends. If we draw Galvanic Blast, it's a 2 turn
If we
clock, I guess.
draw something good, it's a 2 turn
Yeah,
clock.
or a
So we're
another
attacking
good.
for 8 here. So we need to get 4 more damage than this turn. So right now we have 2 more damage in the Signal Pest actually attacking and the Ink Moth animating himself. So +2 would be a Master of Ethereum or a Galvanic Blast, or that's basically it.
Yep. Plating, of
Or
course, is
plating, yeah.
also
Plating would also do it.
yeah. But yeah, I think at this point, I don't know. It might. It's probably no. I mean, Hercules Recall.
Hercule's Recall would definitely be really, really bad for us. It's
Yeah,
not even lethal yet, though, because
we're gonna gain so much life on the backswing.
yeah, he's only attacking for 6. All right. Oh,
All right, there we
well,
go.
GG. The wonderful times when you're like, oh, like things could. Oh no, I drew a plating. We're done. This is over.
Yep. Yep.
For the record, I'm guessing the reason he's equipping the second Blighting to the Signal Pest is so that if there's a gut shot, you don't get called out quite as hard.
Well, yeah, that would be the reasoning, but given that we know both the cards in his hands, it's
No, we
just
don't. He played the
yeah, we do.
Rejury. You only know one of the
Oh, I'm
cards in
sorry.
his hand.
Yeah, sorry. You're right. You're right. You're right. But yes, that is the reason.
All right.
All right.
One
All
match,
right.
two. Nice.